owned and operated by the North, and 0 Confederate. There were 10 or so custom houses from Maine down to New Orleans collecting money, and there were 0 printing plants because neither the South nor the North printed money yet. It was all done at the state level. And then after the war broke out in 1862, when things were really rock and roll, the U.S. Treasury only had 2 mints, the South had 3 mints, which they couldn't use. They shut them all down in April of 1861. The North still had about 8 custom houses, and Jeff Davis insisted that Savannah and New Orleans keep their customs houses open, but as you guys know, New Orleans went back into northern hands by the middle of 1862 anyway, but the mint did not reopen. And the South, as Ron can tell us, had most of its money printed by Evans and Cogswell. His distant relative, who probably kept hundreds of thousands of dollars in printed, bankroll somewhere. And the North
Oh,
had.
he was supposed to give it out today.
I said that lawsuit's still pending.
But there were other printing presses too, besides
yes.
Evans and Cogswell. And the American Banknote Company, which my grandfather worked for, which I do have a very cool book that he gave me before his death, they did most of the printing for the North and the Bronx. So, now here's the story. Louisiana, Georgia, North Carolina seceded from the Union, as you all guys all know. The South, in its constitution, said that it can basically take, apprehend, confiscate all northern assets. It didn't just pertain to the federal government. I read the fine print that said, Ron, if you have your summer house down in Florida, well, it's ours now, thank you very much. And if you didn't give your allegiance to the South, then your property was confiscated anyway. So anyway, the mints, the custom houses, they all went. So Louisiana seceded in late January of 61, turned the mint over to the CSA by late February 1861. The CSA closes the mint April 61, and the Union reclaims New Orleans in 1862. Now, Charlotte and Dahlonega, of course, closed in 1861. They only produced gold coins, and they're very collectible. So if any of you guys ever come across coins for those 2 mints, they're really worth a pretty penny. And they say the gold has got a slight greenish cast to it. I've never seen one myself firsthand, but they say it's because there's a little copper mixed into the ore, but don't know. As I already mentioned to you, they think, scholars believe $7 to $10 million was in the treasuries, the custom houses and the mints when they were seized. And that's roughly my fancy graphic where those 3 mints were. And then the mint marks are really cool. I found, fortunately, some examples. On the gold $2.50 piece, there's a C, a single C, that's for Charlotte. And the $3 gold piece from 1854 out of Dahlonega, a beautiful coin, has a small D, which of course is no different than Denver, but this went out of business by 1861. Denver didn't start until 1877, 1880 during the Silver Rush. And then of course New Orleans produced a prodigious amount of coinage, and it just had a simple O on the coin. We've been through that, blah, blah, blah. Oh yeah, the story about Mark Twain. There's gold in them Nar Hills. I always thought that was referring to the California gold rush, right? Well, I learned I was wrong. So just to make this discussion lively, apparently in 1849, 1850, when the gold rush was really going strong in California, the guys that were running the mint in Dahlonega were losing miners. Everyone was saying, to hell with this, I'm going to California. I'm going to get really wealthy. And there was a true story that the guy who was the assayer for the mint stood on the stairs of the mint with all these miners around him. He said, please gentlemen, stay here. There's so much more money to be mined from those hills out yonder. And then as the story goes, Mark Twain turned those words into there's gold in them Nar Hills. And it was in reference to Georgia, not North Carolina, not California. So that was kind of cool. I didn't know that. So one more little piece of coin trivia for you guys. The New Orleans Mint. Oh man, I just love New Orleans. Everybody I talk to that doesn't care about coins, like in the coin show in Harrisburg I went to, everyone that came by and they'd say, oh, I love New Orleans, where's that meant?
Yeah.
And then they could get a conversation, well, jazz museums there, oh, wait, yeah, let's talk about New Orleans. So I'll talk to you guys about New Orleans all day. But anyway, the most important thing is here, let's see here. There were a great number of coins when the war was just about to break out. I don't know how the North moved them, but a lot of gold and silver that were already minted got taken on wagons and carts and taken up into the northern states, so it got to be hoarded up there for a while. Louisiana did mint over 1 million of the half dollars in 1861 with the O mint mark. And then after the CSA took the mint over, they produced yet 600,000 more of the half dollars. And then the story that is worth telling, two of them here on here that we're telling. When Ben Butler took back the city in 1862, he raised the American flag in front of the mint, being a federal building, and he said, if anybody takes down that American flag from any of these federal buildings, I'm going to hang them.